Welcome back, everybody, to an exclusive front row seat inside pit row with Team 7-Eleven. Of course, we all know 7-Eleven back in the islands and across the country. Now this funny car is representing the famous brand nationwide, and it's doing so with a strong Hawaii connection and a big helping of aloha. Although Team 7-Eleven is one of the new kids on the block enjoying its rookie season competing in the NHRA, it also happens to be one of the most experienced teams out there, headed up by legendary racer Jim Dunn, a man who began his career long before most everybody else on the circuit was even born.
Jim, you've been doing this for the better part of 60 plus years. Does it ever get old?
No, but I do. Yeah, I'm 83 now. I built my first stroker motor in 1949.
Dunn has been setting records ever since he started racing. Obviously, the sport and the cars have exploded since those early days. In fact, he thinks sometimes almost too much so.
We used to make our money match racing, and we could race every weekend and get paid enough money to make a couple dollars. But we're so expensive to run now they can't afford us. Where I used to go for $3,000 for 3 runs, now I turn down $25,000 because it cost me more than that.
A Hall of Fame owner, crew chief, and driver, Dunn has won in every type of car, at every level, and at every type of racetrack, including those here in Hawaii.
You have a little history with the Hawaiian Islands.
Oh yeah, I used to match race over there. I was in Oahu probably about 5 times. I raced Paisano and Matsubara, and I raced in Maui, and the last one was the Big Island of Hawaii.
And now you got a little bit of Hawaiian aloha as part of your crew.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's very good. He's been with me off and on for about 5 years. He enjoys racing and he loves the island still.
He is Hilo native Colin Mandequit.
Cullen, you bring a little bit of aloha to the 7-Eleven racing team here.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm very proud to do it too.
Colin is no stranger to racing, of course, having grown up around the tracks on the Big Island, and now to be working with Team Dunn, oh, it's nothing short of a dream come true.
One of my good friends, I was crewing with him on another top fuel car, and he just was talking to John Dunn, which is the owner's son, and they brought me along and stuff, and that's how I got to work with them.
And Mandequit wasn't the only one from Hawaii in the pits. Recently at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 7-Eleven Hawaii president Greg Hanna also living the dream while representing the islands.
And the fact that you even have a local guy on the crew in Colin, you truly have aloha going down the track every race.
Colin's from the Big Island. What a great guy and a great mechanic.
Like so many in Hawaii who attends these races, Hanna has been a big race fan for decades and a huge fan of Jim Dunn racing.
Jim Dunn is one of the best racers I've ever been around. I saw him win the 72 Winter Nationals, and I'll never forget it.
And to see him part of Team 7-Eleven now?
He is Team 7-Eleven. Yeah, he's definitely part of the Ohana.
And Ohana is what 7-Eleven is all about. As the world's largest convenience store chain with more than 60,000 stores around the globe, it's a brand that represents a little bit of all of us.
7-Eleven is synonymous with communities and people, the pride that you share seeing this car going down the track.
It's hard to describe. It's just too cool. We're known for being your neighborhood store, and these people at Jim Dunn's team made us feel at home. This is great.
In his first full year of racing in the funny car, Jim Campbell has more than held his own in the driver's seat, something he attributes in large part to the wisdom of Dunn and a crew and a brand he calls the perfect fit.
Well, you know, having 7-Eleven and Alberta Beef Jerky on board has just been absolutely wonderful. Everywhere from management to the fans to the store owners. And, of course, one of my favorite original drinks has got to be a Coca-Cola Slurpee. I remember back in the days of stopping at 7-Eleven by my house, playing Asteroids and drinking a Slurpee.
Now Campbell's making a living hitting speeds of upwards of 330 miles per hour. But adrenaline is nothing new to him. His first career was as a first responder. To be racing now in Las Vegas after the recent tragic events there gives him additional perspective
Jim Dunn was a first responder. I'm a previous first responder, and I've been to many of the world's disasters. But what recently happened here in Vegas is catastrophic. It really goes to show how the community comes together in the time of need. Generally, in these things, you see more good than you see in bad. And we can't live our lives in fear. We don't know what the next day is going to bring. So the best thing you can do is live every day to its fullest.
And fear is something you definitely cannot have when sitting behind the wheel of these machines.
If you have fear behind this car, you have no business being in the seat. The team does a great job in preparing the car and getting it ready, and it's set up to do what it's supposed to do. I need to go out there and do my job, work the tree right, and keep the car straight in the groove.
Of course, in this sport, even staying in the groove can be dangerous.
Oh, John gets across the center line, takes out the cones, and wow, was that close. This is supposed to be a non-contact sport.
And that brings us back to something you can never have enough of in this sport.
And a little aloha spirit over your shoulder never hurts.
Never not having love for Aloha Spirit. I love Hawaii. It's a beautiful place. I've got to visit there a couple of times and enjoyed myself immensely.
Let's see you race there one day.
It would be nice. Talk to the boss.
Tell me what kind of a ride it is being part of this level racing.
It's a fun ride. That's all I can say. And it's always been one of my dreams to do this since I was a little kid. And, you know, back in the early 80s, I got to see Jim and Roland Leong, the Hawaiian, back racing in Hilo. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
When you see this car going down the track,
Yeah, I mean, I love it. So when it's going down the track, this is a big rush. Just working on them too.
you bring some kind of Hawaiian, you bring some aloha to this team.
Always, every time I see everybody, you know, local people, whatever, I know how to throw and shaka up there and stuff because I represent the Hawaii people and stuff, and it's always good to see Hawaiians up here in the mainland.
What about bringing racing back to Oahu?
That would be great. You know, I miss racing. I think a lot of people in Hawaii do too.
But to see 7-Eleven's name going down the track here and around the country,
You can't touch that. You just can't touch it.